So hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the SCPH Dual Meets number 2, part 3, round 3, which is the semi-finals. So my name is Daks, and we are going to be getting into some great 2v2 action yet again from the Philippine local scene. And don't forget, tomorrow will be the big day, battle for third, as well as the grand finals happening live and going to be happening in the afternoon. So I can't wait for that one. But this time, we're going to be checking out the semi-final matches that have been played. So first things first, we will be getting Viola Nazin versus Semper and Steelhearts. I'm very, very excited to see how this one is going to work out. And I've been a very busy boy myself, and I'm glad to be able at least to stream for a bit here on my channel. You guys are tuning on into at twitch.tv/SCPH, and we'll be getting into our semi matchups. This one is Team Cube and Clem&Raynor facing off, with Clem&Raynor on the left side, Team Cube on the right. Later on, we'll have Team No Name versus Team HD Gaming, so I can't wait for that one as well. Today will be a pretty exciting night because these semifinals are not going to be disappointing whatsoever. And as we said, tomorrow, the live grand finals as well as that battle for third happening there. It's a 4,000 peso prize pool with a lot of Razor Silver on the line as well. And you already know that this is what the SCPH Dual Meet is all about. Big shoutouts to all our sponsors down below. RRG Razor, Ascend, Mogul, Block 101, DLS Missile, Ice Boy Productions, and Pure PC for supporting the local scene here. So anyway, guys, we're going to be getting into our matchup. And our first map here will be Rhoskallian LE. So Rhoskallian LE, pretty popular map in our pool right now. It's very, very stable. It's all about the rounds being held. And we'll see what kind of game we're going to be get. And there you go, guys. It is going to be interesting. We are streaming only here on Twitch. I don't have a setup for bots, and I don't really usually stream myself on Facebook. It's whenever I'm just casting something like that. Razor, a partner of Mogul, actually. So Razor Silver on the line as well. Just a small little thing for our community. But as we are going to be getting into our first game, it's Rhoskallian LE, the place to be. Viola and Azin, Clem&Raynor going to be on that left side. We also have the side of Steelheart and Semper, or Team Cube, going to be on the right. But anyway, guys, it's time to get into the game. I can't wait for this one. The semifinal is going to be absolutely hyped. We had great round 1 and round 2 matches already, and this one is not going to be looking to disappoint. Let's get into the game. So hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our first semifinal. This one is going to be a TNZ versus a TNZ mirror matchup happening here. Both Terrans, both Zergs going to be looking to play the mirror there. And introducing first, here on the top side of Rhoskallian LE, we got our team of aspiring pros, Clem&Raynor, with Viol on that blue Terran and Azin on that red Zerg. People say, Dax, why do you keep saying blue? This is cyan. It's like, close enough. If someone's really playing blue, then I'll call it cyan. If not, blue is the color here. And welcome, guys, to the Dual Meets. It is our 2v2 tournament that happens pretty much over the last few weeks. We started all the way halfway of November, and we'll be wrapping it up tomorrow with our live grand finals. But now, introducing on the other side, we have Team Cube with the green Zerg, Steelheart, and the purple Terran, Semper. Semperfi will find out what Semper and Steelheart can do against Viol and Azin. Both teams looking impressive. Semper and Steelheart, especially up-and-comers, really becoming the underdog story in this bracket. In the meantime, between Viol and Azin, a lot of experience there for Azin, a lot of experience there for Viol. And Azin, of course, one of the better, if not one of the best players of the Zerg in the scene within that Masters bracket. There's a lot of competition. You have the likes of Ender, Nux, and then you can really shuffle it around. You can have the likes of Sipem. You can have the likes of Azin here. You can even have the likes of Malupate if you're that kind of guy. But for now, it's going to be a hatchery being built here by Azin. He went for that pool first, though, and now it's going to be Semper scouting on around. Nothing cheeky as of yet. pretty standard stuff in our 2v2. And of course, 2v2, double the trouble and double the protection. You need to make sure your teammate is alive, and we are going to be getting into this one. Colors are hard, guys, but we'll just deal with it. Teal is the place to be, but it's blue to me. And for now, I'm going to be feeling blue because this is going to be Acid trying to get this expansion. Of course, Viol doing the same. Here on the other side, Steelheart already setting one up. Semper gonna be doing that one as well. And it seems like we're gonna be getting some macro into this matchup. For now, though, Asin is the one who wants to play the first aggressor. He's gonna be looking to play that metabolic boost already, and he has 6 of these Zerglings on route. Steelheart, though, in the meantime, gonna be answering back. And the best thing Asin can do right now is get rid of this SCV to slow down the production there. But Asin now with the wraparound gets the surround on the Zerglings there, and there you go. The SCV gonna die. Command center not gonna get built for now. And this has to be the defense being mustered here by Steelheart as well as Semper. But here comes Asin again. Perfect time to go for the surround. Drone so helping on out, and realizing with the pull that's not enough DPS, gonna back on away instead. But I like the play here from Asin. The pull first opening gives you that earlier aggression, and in behind you can just macro anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Not much defenses here, and since he has an easier target onto the Terran, might as well get rid of the SCV building at CC and force Semper and Steelheart to answer back instead. Scout has been retreated, and for now, it's a bit of an advantage here for Asin with what he's been doing. He's already going for that Lair Tech. He's going for that Roach Warren. So it wouldn't be surprising to see him rush that tech. He can go for their Constitution for extra speed. Something else he can do is something he really loves doing in the local scene. Burrow plus Thundering Claws. The place to be, the way to be. And we'll find out what's the call for him. In the meantime, though, we are going to be seeing Semper set up his expansions as well, set up his tech, and going to be having that 1-1-1 setup in just a bit. Starport being built, more Marines being pumped out, and of course, Siege Tanks, a very efficient unit at protecting the lines. AOD damage from these Siege Tanks, super instrumental at keeping you alive, especially against 2 armies. But Viol, in the meantime, trying to get his bio ball up. He's already going for step back, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Asin and Viol go for the attack already. But a 2-base Spire play here from Steelheart, already going to be going up in the air instead, a bit earlier than usual, because you usually want to have that 3rd base up and running. But we'll see what he can do with this. Surprise factors are abound in a 2v2. It's something to be surprised about in the first place. But for now, it will be Steelheart sending these Overlords over to the left side. Spine Crawler into play as well. Bunker right now for the defensive. And for Semper and Steelheart, they're expecting more of a push here from Asin and Viol. But it seems like with just that one small push, it's already Asin trying to go for higher and higher tech so far. So not too bad for both sides whatsoever. For Steelheart, he's taking a big lead on that drone count, really pumping those things out and not even bothering with much on the army there. This time though, the Muta's gonna be coming into play. He's expending a lot of gas for this one. It's just that 7 of them looking to fly in the skies. Still though, in the meantime, it's Viol getting a quick low load there onto the medevac, but does drop them back down instead. Was looking to go for a quick low drop blade, didn't really amount to much. And now it's time for this Overseer to see everything coming. Steelheart exposing the Spire, exposing the Mutas there. And immediately we're going to be expecting some defenses here set up by Asin. Spore Crawler already set up onto the primary as well as the secondary base. Another one onto the main expansion as well. And now it is going to be time for Steelheart right now to move on around yet again. Now the best thing Steelheart can do can be picking off these roaches. These things are very tanky compared to what the Mutas can really dish out, but they cannot hurt the Mutas up in the air. So the hunt gonna be on, and with this strike force, Steelheart can just easily take care of business there. Now the problem right now for Asin, he has to commit or he has to just die. These roaches gonna be on one-way trip. They're gonna be splitting on around though to try and mitigate the losses. And Steelheart really doing a good job to bombard the opposition there. But Semper right now looking for the drops as well. There's a lot of air pressure right now from Team Cube, and they're looking pretty 3-dimensional on it. They understand that if they can harass the opposition enough, it will force more defenses. It will force a certain tech tree that Asin might not want to go on. But already we see the Hydra Den into play here from our Red Zerg. For now though, both sides more or less even on the economy, as in the first one to actually go for that 3rd. But Steelheart with that 10 worker lead over the other Zerg, looking to really keep it up as much as possible. But Semper right now Moving on around, gets rid of the scouts, and we'll have this medevac fully loaded with Marines. This is Steelheart though, creeping on closer and closer, and wanting to harass a mineral line that isn't there. A lot of grip rates though for Steelheart. He's going for the +1 on the range, +1 on the carapace, and trying to get this third base up and running. In the meantime, here for Asin, it's all about the Hydra den upgrades. The speed and the range gonna be very helpful. Something also he has already is that +1 on the range. For Viol though, it's a drop down into destruction. These Marines moving on forward, getting the kills anyway. And Steelheart looking to send a few more things in. Roaches right now on the ground, and between Asin, Viol, and Steelheart and Semper, we're seeing a bit of a standstill. Both sides respecting each other, both sides understanding that these armies are just gonna get bigger and better, and the best thing they can do right now is look to max out before the opposition. So Asin right now gonna be moving some of these drones in. Combat Shield gonna be next on the list here for Semper, and it's pretty standard here for both sides. We see here from the side of Semper and Steelheart, it is gonna be the Muta play with the Bioball and Siege Tank support. In the meantime, for Viol, same thing, but for Asin, he's gonna be going heavy on the ground with the Hydras and the Roaches instead. Now, this can be a two-pronged thing. These Hydras can get blown up by the Siege Tanks there, but at the very least, have some really good anti-air. Steelheart, though, congregating his forces. It's a big army count right now from this guy. 80 army into play, trying to get that third. And Semper right now marching on in. He is going to get supply blocked, though, so that's basically all he has right now. And there we go with the assault. And immediately that Siege Tank setting up to break down the Marine Ball. Step back, though, gonna get popped. Steelheart pushing on forward. And there we have it. Asin and Viol making a concave to try and stay alive. Semper, though, in the meantime, still set up on the other side. And bombardment, indeed, gonna be the big deal here. Shots now keeping on coming. Some micro with the medevacs to put them in range. And Semper right now going for the shots yet again. They're trying to blow up every little bit. And it's just a creeping barrage happening for both sides. But my oh my, it's a bit of a standstill here from both teams. Viol and Semper looking to stare at each other, but that extra vision allows this one lone Siege Tank to get an inch and get the shot instead. Interesting enough, couldn't see the other Siege Tank on the other side, and Viol gonna lose out a bit of that control here. Steelheart and Semper, they're knocking on the doorsteps right now of Viol and Asin, and the question is, who will call to this one? Who will actually get the answer on? As Steelheart right now moving over the south side instead. A bit of harassment though, as there is gonna be Asin with that Ninja Roach going for the shots and breaking down whatever is here. Scans still gonna be online, and both sides just refusing to commit anything big. But now the commitment is here from Steelheart. Sees that Viol has a base full of mules, and this can be a beautiful pickoff if ever, but these mules are running out of duration, so Steelheart not gonna have the best timing right now, and he's gonna get caught out instead by the two armies. Here we go with Viol helping out Asin. The Hydras are doing the damage as we have Semper just sticking around on the right side. In a situation like this, 2 is better than 1. But Asin gonna be having some heavy losses. Viol right now committing instead, and Steelheart with the numbers able to do the damage anyway to the two armies. And Semper will take a look at this, to take a gander and try to get the drop instead. Now this medevac might fall, both of them will actually die, but here comes the Marines and the Brothers into play already, harassing the mineral lines. But as we say that, Viol will take the push and go after the Siege Tanks instead from Semper. Steelheart though trying to make a concave, but both sides losing so many units yet again. Who has the advantage by this point? It seems like for Viol, he at least gets rid of the Siege Tank setup there, and now he is going to be defending his mineral lines with the Liberators instead. All about picking them apart one by one with the defense mode. And in the end, a hold here from Heart's-Heel and our red players. Overall, good back and forth. Steelheart going in to try and really harass this base, but good defense from Viol and Asin to really keep him at bay. Steelheart, though, still doing the damage that needs to be done. And here we go with the Liberation Zones again to try and set on up. Concave battle, trying to maximize the DPS, but Asin seeing that Steelheart's trying to retreat instead, and the chase gonna be on. Overall, though, this does work out a lot better for Viol and Asin. They're both sticking around on a 3-base setup, and Viol even going one better to get a 4th base up and running. In the meantime, Steelheart and Semper on 3 bases as well. In terms of economy, both sides really trying to keep it even. Our SCV counts, though, are the biggest ones right now. We're not seeing too many drones here from the Zerg and Daks, from the Zergs respectively, and you're gonna be surprised to see that kind of number on them. But they're busy making these armies going for the brawl, and Viol right now reinforcing whatever Asin has to try and get those takedowns onto this base. These Roaches though and these Hydras trying to skitter on away, extra movement speed to keep them in the fight and to keep them alive. But the chase is on from Steelheart right now. Asin gonna be looking for the Star Step and gonna be sacrificing a few of Viel's units to allow the rest to retreat, as here comes Semper again, looking to make the drops happen. And in all honesty, there's a lot of action on a map like this, but for Viol, he's making traffic happen. The siege tank Congo line looking very, very scary. And now it's time for the air units to try and take the mantle and to try to take the attention away from the opposition. This is Billy Viol harassing the front lines, as this is Steelheart right now looking to bother this third base. Both sides attacking each other, both sides going blow for blow, pound for pound. And case in point, it is going to be still Viol setting up these siege tanks to get these kills anyway. This is what 2v2 is all about. There can be action everywhere because there are 4 people on a map like this. It's not just one single fight. It can just be concentrations of different angles. It's not even just about the drops, it's about the brawls. And now the SCV is gonna get pulled here by Semper. It's just getting blown up though because Viol has a free siege tank set up here on the north side. And even the high ground gonna have one more there. Now this time it is gonna be Semper looking for the cleanup. We do see the mules getting dropped, and from the high ground that is gonna be the tank going down. But the damage has been done. Semper gonna be losing a number of workers there, and some value coming in from that tank. Intense back and forth here from both sides, but right now it is going to be Semper looking to maximize on the macro. He has a lot of army as well compared to Viol, but Viol really ready with SimCity right now. He has so many barracks in production, 4 of them with reactors, 2 of them with tech labs, and with that 6 racks approach, he's just really pumping out Marines from basic training to get into the battle. Speaking of battle though, it's already Semper flying these medevacs in. Steelheart though, with control on the Selnaga Tower. And these are going to be the Roaches moving on around yet again. But as we see the march here, Viol over to the high ground. And are we going to get a longer game into this matchup? We're seeing a lot of macro here from both sides. And we're seeing that here on Semper, he wants to go at it again. Planetary Fortress though, Viol not going to have the range. But this is going to be a bad situation here for Steelheart and Semper, because these things on the low ground, as soon as Steelheart's army does die, they're not going to get the vision there. And right now, it's a good position here for Viol and Asin to go for the cleanup instead. The march is on, the Marines are there, the siege tanks cannot go for the shots. And there we have it, Viol cleaning on up, and Asin saying, hey, I contributed to, I still have 2 Hydras here. And besides that, this has been an impressive effort here from our Teal Terran. Overall, Viol doing an amazing job in this game, above and beyond everyone else, keeping up on the macro, getting the right unit compositions at the right times. And for now, Asin looking to help out in different ways instead. Since he went for the Hydras, might as well go for the Lurkers. Surprise unit that can actually go for the Subterranean Spines and get the takedowns from below. But Viol right now, mopping up the Berg and cleaning up everything on the outer side of this map. He wants to make sure that Semper and Steelheart are stuck in their ways, stuck in their bases, and stuck in terms of those positions. But here we go again. Semper right now dropping down on the natural. Asin getting hurt here, and now the Overlords though gonna be swarming the medevacs, just trying to get in the way to hurt the micro there of Semper. And even though they congregate over to the east side, here comes Viol right now with a cleanup again, and another drop gonna not work out here for Semper at all. You know, while Asin loses some workers again, it really feels like it doesn't really matter to him, because he can just go for another drone cycle. He can get these things up and running, and he can just get as many workers as he would like. Already at 51 out of nowhere, Violdo with 78, and Steelheart is the one slipping on the macro instead. He's running out of minerals to use, and he's been losing bases left, right, and center. One good way to win a 2v2, cripple one player to make it a 2v1 instead. And for Steelheart, it might be a last-ditch effort to use the Nidus here. In any case though, Semper already marching forward. Medevacs gonna be there to help on that, and seeing a Terran and Zerg together is always good to see, because look at that, the Medevacs healing up whatever units the Zerg has. For now though, Viol has to back on away. Siege tanks still gonna get left behind, but apparently they're gonna be a staging point instead. Step back on in here from Viol already. He has the +2 in terms of that infantry weaponry, as well as the +1 on the armor, but it's not gonna be enough because Semper and Steelheart working together again. The SNS connection looking to make this push happen. The scans are there, but Asin doing some good damage with the Lurker so far, and they are just chewing through all these units. There we go with the takedowns yet again from below. Steelheart running out of money right now. Semper running out of units. And here comes Viol and Azin to try and punish. Zerglings already onto that third base, harassing this one with impunity. We're running out of resources on the main base, and the second one already, there's no minerals there. And what's happening here for Semper and Steelheart is they are getting frozen on out. The lifeblood, their money getting choked out of their wallets, and it's just not working. In the meantime, here for Azin as well as for Viol, they've had so many expansions, especially look at Viol. The whole left side of the map is his for the taking, and you can really see that he's put the flag of Viol on to Rhoskallian. Intense stuff so far between these two teams, but right now you can see the writing might be on the wall here for Steelheart and Semper. They're running out of resources right now, and they need to have a do-or-die push to really hurt the economy of the opposition. There's a lot of gas though here for Steelheart, but the best thing he can do right now is, with that kind of money, has to be spellcasters. Semper might be able to do the same, but some Ravens can actually help on out in a fight like this. But for now, it still is going to be Azin marching on forward. Lurkers, Hydras into play. So Naga Tower now theirs for the taking. And this might be a big push that can lead to the victory here of Viol and Azin. Question is though, how will they go about things, as there you have a drop happening here for Semper again. He's sending these units all the way to the other side, but as we say that, it's already Viol and Azin knocking on their doorstep. Will we see a retreat though? Will we see some reinforcements here for our Terran, as Azin right now hurting this planetary fortress where it counts? Bombardment indeed, not only from the siege tank but also from the Lurkers. And now Viol coming on through with the push. Steelheart though protecting the siege tank so far, but Semper gonna lose that. And there you go. That's the problem here for Semper. These SCPs unable to do anything. Steelheart right now caught napping as well. And here comes Viol again, looking for the hunt. The surround trying to happen right now, getting the cleanup yet again. And these workers gonna go down. Steelheart has run out of resources, or in this case has run out of the army as well as those workers. Victory right now for Viol and Azin to take it. And Clem&Raynor will win out map number 1 out of 3. So there you go, guys. GG to game number 1. And it was a war, a battle of attrition. But in the end, you can see the victors were the ones who were able to expand. You can see the winners were the ones who were able to move on and move forward. And that is going to be victory right there for Viol and Azin. Rhoskallian LE, 1 out by Viol and Azin. Polka LE gonna be our next map pick. And overall, it was a great back and forth between our two teams. We saw some flexibility and some variance there on the Zerg side. We saw multiple times that the Mute was able to bring in the damage anyway. And case in point right now, we're gonna be looking for Polka LE instead. This is gonna be map number 2 out of 3. And a map like this, similar to what's we've seen from Rhoskallian so far, all about protecting the ramps right now, all about making sure that the mineral field also on the other side gonna be watched over. And we'll see if Semper and Steelheart can go for the comeback, or will Viol and Azin be our first grand finalists. Don't forget, guys, that we have 2 semifinals for tonight, which means that after this one, we still got 1 more match to showcase, and that's very, very exciting, because that one is going to be one of our highest ranked duos versus our defending champions. Going to be a great one here and now, but already we will see a good one happening in front of us. Viol and Azin up by 1 as we move into Polka. Can they wrap it up, or will we see Semper and Steelheart go for the comeback? It's time now to get into the game. It's time to see if Clem&Raynor can do it again, or will we have Team Cube get a dub under their belts? So hello, guys, and welcome back. Here we go again. You need some energy, you already know. Just open your eyes and experience the world. That's just another way to say you guys are right. But here we go. As we get into Polka LE, newest map this time in our pool, it will be another showcase of 2v2 talent. Introducing first, here on the south side of the map, we got Clem&Raynor. It's Viol on that teal Terran, and Azin on that red Zerg. Their opponents on the top left instead, fighting for their survival and fighting to make it to that grand finals. It is going to be Team Cube with the purple Terran Semper And the green Zerg, Steelheart. So here we go again, ladies and gentlemen, as we are back into Duel Meet number 2. This has been a great fun time in SCPH, hasn't it? We've had these month-long format tournaments now lately. Makes it a lot easier for you guys to actually participate in. And since you guys are G with a format like this anyway, don't need to really cram it in one whole night, then we've been having a great time all together. Some of these mini broadcasts here and there, and of course the VODs happen on over to YouTube to allow you guys to experience the action of any time you're choosing. But besides that, it's all about making sure that our local scene keeps on growing. If you haven't tried StarCraft 2 yet, might as well go for it. It's free to play, it's very stressful, sure, but it is gonna be, it's one of those things that as soon as you learn it, and the euphoric winning feeling of winning actually against another player, it's something. It's really something. RTS ain't as popular as it is nowadays, but it's still such a skillful genre anyway. But for now, we are going to be seeing something very cheeky. Steelheart, Spine Crawler being built onto the base of Essen. But the problem right now is you're fighting against 2 people rather than 1. So a Spine Crawler rush might not be the best thing to do here and now. Zergling's going to be into play as well. Seems like we got the pool here from Steelheart already good to go. And the question is though, what will Essen do? One more pull right now from both sides can really help on that to mitigate this assault. But Steelheart is already bringing in more of the reinforcements. Here comes the Marines though. And yes, this is just a little too hard to do against 2 people, right? As in though, he's losing mining time right now because he was thinking about going for the pull anyway. But besides that, there's just too many people to handle. Against 1 player, you can barely make it with a Spine Crawler rush if they get the surround in time. But when you're against a Terran also alongside the Zerg, you have to be dreaming, haven't you, to make this one work. But this does buy Steelheart and Semper some time to just expand freely. A bit of a resource investment there from Steelheart, and a bit of that tech structure allowing the pool to happen first rather than the hatchery means that for him, that was his initial assault. More of a bother rather than anything else, as in having a bit of that worker lead against his Zerg counterpart, but Semper in behind all of this can just focus on whatever the hell he wants to do. Macro into play right now from Semper, looking for that 1-1-1 setup as much as possible, and he is getting that second Rax up as well. For now though, marches on here for Viol, scouting on the round, and for both players and both teams, they're just making sure that this is going to be a protected zone for our teams. Anyway though, as we get back into the action, seems like for Semper, he has that base advantage against Viol. But as I say that, Orbital Command will say, I'm gonna save the day, I'm gonna plant this down, and there we go, 2 bases for both sides. Safer way to build here for Viol, just plops it down and has a really good wall onto the main ramp to those main bases. In the meantime though, Reactor Tech into play, and we're seeing similar straights here from Viol as well as Semper. Semper the one going for that earlier star points, but doesn't really seem to do much with it. He's been trying to go for the drops, and he has been able to have some success there on Rhoskallian, but it isn't as early as you would expect. In the meantime here for Viol, Starport up online, a reactor has been built by the factory, so you're going to be expecting a lot of those medevacs into play right now. Not only do they help whatever viable our Terran wants to build, they also help out whatever Zerg is there. Apparently the Zerg's a high affinity with the Band-Aids instead. Queen though, taking a bit of damage for some reason. What was that blowing on up? But anyway, oh, it's the siege tank shot. But anyway, so we have Semper, we have Steelheart. They have some fortifications on the low ground at the very least. But for Viol and Azin, they're just happy to do whatever the hell they want. We already have Carapace as well as Metabolic Boost here for Azin. And interesting enough, Steelheart really foregoing that kind of setup. When you go for a 2-base fire play, you need every little bit of gas that you can get. And right now, Steelheart looking to invest that save of money yet again. He's going for 4 extractors right now and trying to make sure everything will be pumped down for those mutas. It's a bit of a gamble there, and we'll see if it's gonna work out for him. Anyway though, as Azin right now cycling on around, checking things out, we will have these Zerglings making sure that there's nothing amiss on a map like this. Viol even making the Great Wall of Supply Depots here in the middle field just in case they're expecting cheeky antics here from Semper and Steelheart. But the only thing cheeky right now is this aggression here from the 2-base Spire as soon as possible. Muta's up in the air again, gonna be pesky. But remember, a number of Marines right now from Viol can easily deal with a small ball. We'll see though how this is all gonna work out, because as soon as Azin feels like everything is gonna be going that way, he's already looking to play the Hydra Den instead. All about the ground base composition here from Azin. Overseer to try and scout things out as well. And on Polka LE, it's a big map, guys, like every 2v2 map. Now, funny thing about this map is shadows sometimes disappear. I don't know if it's a bug, I don't know if it's a day-night cycle. Sometimes they show up just like that, sometimes they're a little too hard to see. But besides that, it's just a pretty standard map anyway. There's a lot of rocks in the middle though to slow down whatever kind of diagonal assault you want to do. But it doesn't matter to the Mutas. They fly on in, they can just try to regroup. And here comes Steelheart right now looking to engage again. Now the big question right now is, what is Steelheart gonna do with these? Not only is he gonna be looking to harass those bases, but he's trying to go for the drive-by and take care of whatever overlords are there as well. If he can really hunt down wherever Azin put these balloons, it's easy tidings right now to supply block the Red Zerg. Seems like though that's gonna be the case. And Azin having to try and reinforce with the Hydras and with some overlords from the Larva as well. But for Azin, it's a good help he has the Carapace. All he has to do right now is make sure that these things aren't going to be able to stay alive. And here we go with the Hydras getting in the way again. So anti-air ready already here from Viol and Azin. Clem&Raynor anticipating whatever was to come. So it's up to Stemper to try and run away with it. He's having a good lead right now on the worker and the army counts against the opposition, and he's really trying to go for all the tech in the world. He has the +1s online. The only thing he needs right now is that combat shield, and this is the perfect time to go for that 111 upgrade and try and really go for that push. But for now, it's up to Steelheart, but the Mutavault gonna get spotted. High ground vision there from Viol, allowing the sights to happen, and Steelheart has to back on away before he loses everything here. In the meantime, though, Azin right now, he's being cheeky. He has the banelings on. Viol gonna be helping him out some vision there. And the question is, does Steelheart see this coming? This is gonna be the Overlord right now, getting closer and closer. And these balls of doom gonna be dropping it on down. Baneling gonna smash. Baneling gonna get the kill. And this is gonna be the mineral line getting torn apart already. A good number of Banes falling on over. Steelheart the Semper looking to clean up whatever is there. But half of that worker line going down. Those from the extractor, as well as almost half of the mineral gatherers. That's huge here from the side of Azin. He just finally gets a good pick off there. He finds a way to make it happen, and the Overseer is seeing everything that's going on as Semper and Steelheart are on the hunt instead. So while the retreat is happening here, Azin gonna be snickering on the way and happy about that engagement. He got some good hits there with the Banelings, but now he has to be careful because the combined powers of Semper and Steelheart are knocking on his door. But seems like combinations are also gonna happen here for Clem&Raynor, because this is Viol and Azin already working together again. The response rate right now from Viol to help at Azin at his need, at the moment's rest. He's just always ready for it. He's always ready to go at the opposition. And you can see right now, that's where Viol and Azin can truly shine. Now, Semper and Steelheart, they have this really good coordination as well. They work together to go for the push, but you can really see for Viol and Azin, it's such a good response when one of them is in danger. But right now, they're gonna have to combine their forces again because this is Steelheart knocking on the doorstep of the Terran. Viol, though, already smashing him down with the Siege Tank there. And here we go again. This might be this Siege Tank in trouble, and that is gonna be a concave here. Muta's gonna be trying to go for it, but doesn't really even show up there. Hydra's gonna be there instead. Lurkers right now gonna be in behind. And the cleanup happening here for Viol and Azin. Whatever Semper and Steelheart can throw at the opposition, apparently Viol and Azin can defend against it. And now it turns into all about the Siege Tanks right now. And here comes Viol dropping these Marines down. All about these units looking to play that close range engagement. Siege Tanks forced to go back to the normal mode, but they will go on down. And a great cleanup here from Viol Azin again. Well played to Viol and Azin. They will be able to defend. Semper and Steelheart having to back on out. In all honesty, the Mutas even just disappearing. I don't even know where they actually went, but now these are the Banelings already marching on forward. Quick little burst. Does get some damage here and there. +3 right now here for Semper. And if you can actually survive long enough, this might be a big game changer to really maximize the DPS from these Marines. But speaking of the Mutas, they're finally coming on back. Steelheart, though, playing the Roches right now down on the ground. And Vil just trying to keep the top up along the way. They're just now poking, prodding, doing all they can and more. Asin creeping on closer. And you know, the siege tanks, you think they're bad? These lurkers are going to be worse. They're invisible unless you have that detection. They're going to be able to have some great range as well. And the farther you go on the detect tree, the better they get. Upgrade-wise, there is nothing there for the lurkers, but even these vanilla lurkers are good enough against these units. Steelheart's trying to get these overlords on the way, but they're getting torn apart by the Hydras instead. And speaking of getting torn apart, these are the spines breaking down this hatchery down below. And there we have it again. This is where Viola and Asin get snowball against Semper and Steelheart. They isolate, they zone out the opposition, and they are choking the lifeblood here of Steelheart especially. Doesn't even have workers onto the natural anymore. Baneling's taking care of that. Here comes Asin right now trying to push on forward, but this is so difficult here for Semper and Steelheart. They've had an amazing run, and they basically became the underdog story. But for now, every dog has its due. Every dog gonna be pretty much in cage there, and Semper will call it. Steelheart will do so as well. And Viola and Asin are your first grand finalists for tomorrow's matchup. Well played, Viola and Asin. Again, the response rate there from these two looking so good. Semper and Steelheart though, I gotta give props to the chemistry. But right now, they're just really faltering as soon as they try to go for the expansion. I could really see here from Semper and Steelheart, they're this team that if they catch you guys for a surprise, catch you guys unaware, this is a tidal wave waiting to happen. But apparently, Viola and Asin, these guys have already reclaimed all the land and more. They were already setting up the sandbags, and they were just ready for it again. Twice now did we see Semper and Steelheart go for the aggressive play, try to zone out the opposition, but in the end, what happens there? Viola and Asin defending and macroing even better, hurting the opposition where it counts, and then winning it out. But a great back and forth here. You gotta give props though to Semper and Steelheart in all honesty. These guys coming in from the Novice Cup, coming in from all of that more lower league experience compared to what Vil and especially Asin have been up to so far. It was a big ask to try and see their win, and it was a big shot to really try and fight as much as they could. But there you go, guys. Rhoskallian LE and Polka LE won out there by Viol and Asin. Well played indeed by these two teams, but they are going to be our first finalists there. And don't forget, guys, we're going back to our standard time for tomorrow. It's a holiday tomorrow, November 30, Bonifacio Day. So that means we are ready for the afternoon, 2 p.m. onwards for the third place matchup and the grand finals. But now we see that it will be Clem&Raynor looking to face off against the winner of our next semifinals. That one is pretty much the matchup everyone has been waiting for. That one is the matchup everyone has been anticipating in the whole bracket. And it is Team No Name versus HD Gaming. Who will move on to face Clem&Raynor in tomorrow's grand finals? We'll find out in just a bit. We'll be right back, guys, for our second semifinal matchup.